Welcome to Protea Weekly. My name is Zane Stevens, and I'm the founder of Protea Financial. Welcome to 2024. Pretty crazy. Feels like just 2 days ago was 2023. Yeah. I come with the jokes, but it is pretty exciting. 2024, I feels like it's going to be a great year, or at least I'm going to try and make it a great year. And I think that's sort of we all come into New Year's going, this is going to be my year. And I don't ever really feel like that way, but I do come into this year going, I have a lot of really good thoughts, processes, goals that I want to achieve. And if I can even just get 50% success rate, I'll be super happy with the way the year goes. There's obviously a lot that can happen throughout the year in terms of health, family, you know, any craziness could happen. I mean, the world is a pretty unstable place, but I'm trying to go into it with a very positive outset and go, I can make this a great year if I keep planning, if I keep working, and I make sure that I'm getting people involved. Now, you're probably tuning into this weekly episode and going, is this guy really an accountant? Does he ever talk about accounting? And I promise you, we're going to talk more about accounting. It's just sort of the timing of when we started this whole thing. And it just seems really relevant to share who we are, some of my thought processes, and where we're going. I think it's going to set up a great basis. Remember, I'm committing to do 52 episodes of Proteo Weekly and see what happens. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't, but it is an opportunity to share my thoughts, my ideas, and maybe it resonates with a few of you. My obvious hope with this podcast is to share business information, share accounting information, and hopefully make somebody's life a little bit better. So I think the good place to start is the beginning. And it is 2024. And for Protea Financial, it is a massive year. And why is that? Because we were founded in March 2014, which means in March 2024, we're 10 years old. And, that whole concept of like this company, this operation of helping people will be 10 years old this year. Never in my wildest dreams did I think we'd be at a point where this little business turned into something so much more. And I honestly look back on the last 10 years and 95% of my memories are positive. I mean, not everything is positive. There's definitely some times. I would say there's at least 3 times in that 10 years where I was just like, why am I doing this? Is it really worth my effort? Um, Things aren't perfect. I can't make everybody happy. Let's just let's just give it up. And I'm sure we all have moments like that in our life where like it's just too much. Is this really worth it? Let's rethink it. But most of the time, it's been super positive, and that makes me really happy. I got up this morning and I was excited. I didn't start the year going, oh, another January. And I won't lie to you, as an accountant, especially in the outsourced accounting world, Januaries are tough. They're really, really tough. One, it's a pretty short month. It moves really quickly. I have pressures at home with kids as well. There's multiple things that need to get done. We got to close the month end, we got to close the year end, and then we got to get out these pesky 1099s. It's a ton. And just when you think you've reached the pinnacle, guess what? It's January month ends. On top of that, a lot of people will come back after having a refreshing break over the holiday season and go, you know what, I've got these 10 great ideas and I need your help to do it. So there's never a year end where it's just like, leave us alone, get our jobs done. No, we've got plans, we've got aspirations, we need you to help us, which is amazing. I love when people come back excited for their own business. It's a great thing, and I love to be able to help them, but it does put a lot of pressure. So a lot of the times, and I'm sure plenty of my team and plenty of accountants all over the world woke up this morning going, "Ah, here we go again." And I get it. I get it. It's tough. January's tough. Maybe we can talk about that a little bit more next week and just sort of how I cope with January. I've done it for a long time. I came from the audit world where it was crazy. I went into a company that was listed, and I dealt with December years, interim audits, as well as final audits, all in the first 3 months of the year. So I get it. It can be tough out there. So maybe we can just, maybe I'll pencil that in for next week. How do I deal with chaos? But I did want to take today to sort of share my plans for 2024. And obviously, it all sort of is around this big event. Protea turns 10. Though, on a personal side, it's also my last year of my 30s. And I mean, I don't care about birthdays that much, but I think it is a milestone that's like, wow, I've got through a lot of my life. How am I going to spend the rest of it? So I've got a lot of like business aspirations, a lot of personal aspirations, and a lot of what I plan to do for 2024 is to set my life up, Protea's life up in a way that I can continue to be successful, have time to do things that I love, but also create a situation where I am allowing more people to get involved in the process of our Protea so that we're setting this up for long term success and stability. My big goal, my number one goal for 2024 is take Protea from a position of stability in the future to a situation where we'll continue to thrive in the future. And as a big component of that is teamwork. And I know I can take Protea a certain distance, but if I really want to make this a successful entity that is going to continue to help wineries into the future, I need to get more people involved in specific tasks, allow them to take responsibility and accountability, and move this business forward. So, a very big portion of my year is going to be spending on how do I remove myself for being the catalyst for thriving and making sure that everybody's involved in the process of thriving. How do I allow people to take more ownership of the future success of the business as well as themselves? It's a really big goal, and I've got a bunch of micro steps along the way. Two of them that I'm working with in Q1, and I have a trip coming to South Africa in March where I'm going to get to celebrate with my South African team, but I will also share with them the outcomes of one of these processes. The other one, we'll see how it happens. I've got some support with that process. It's very much more about a sustainability process than thriving, but I believe by adding this layer of sustainability, it'll put everybody in a better position to thrive as well. So, as I'm running this business, I'm looking at two aspects. Let's make sure we thrive by making sure that processes, data, all of that is secure, safe, and easily accessible to all. The other side is how do we look at the business, adjust the way it is currently seen, not necessarily run, but definitely seen, and give people more opportunities to be part of the process. So that's my big goal, number one, make Protea more sustainable. Number two, and I shared this on a lot of my social media, is I'm going to continue to work on communication. Weekly, I do a post on communication on LinkedIn, and I sort of started sharing a little bit of it on Twitter as well. But, you know, I think communication is so critical. And we do run an operation that's headquarters in California. We have people in, what is that now, 4 counties in California. Then we have, California plus 2 other states where people work. So there's time zone differences, traveling distance. Plus, we have the office in South Africa. So for 10 years, we've understood that communication is one of our pillars of success. And I continue to hammer that home by sharing my thoughts on communication on a weekly basis. But what's important for you all to understand is that that communication pillar and those posts that I put out is not me just sharing information. Honestly, a big part of it is a weekly reminder to myself. And generally, the content I create on a weekly basis is what do I need to do better? What do I feel like I struggled with in the past week? And I did a survey with our team internally, and my big questions were sort of what can I do better? And a lot of it came back was my email communication, especially in my project work, can be poor. And I get it. I do get a lot of emails, significantly more than anybody else at the client. And I do have a problem where I lose concentration if the email's long. True. And on top of that, I do at times tend to respond in very short ways that can leave people guessing. So my goal around communication specifically is on the written side, where I'm going to take more time to read emails carefully, respond to all of the answers, and make sure that I'm responding with sufficient information so that it is clear what I want and expect. I am focusing on this year, and it's probably going to be Q1, Q2, very highly focused, and then hopefully by Q3, 4, it becomes a secondary goal and I can move on to a different communication goal. But for the first half of the year, I'm going to 100% focus in on improving my written communication, especially around long, detailed emails. That's important to me. I want to get better at it. One part that I'm going to sort of make improvement anyway is that I am reducing my client work. Um, you know, deep assessment of the company understands that me having some client work is important, but to tell the truth, my time is better spent in developing relationships, seeking new clients, handling marketing, attending conferences, that type of work. So I will have less client work, but I still will have client work, and it will be very important for me to focus in on improving my process around communication, especially the longer emails where responses are required. Finally, my last goal is on just the personal side. You know, for 10 years now, my focus has been business and family. That's all I've cared about for the last 10 years. I want Protea to be successful and I want my family to feel loved and supported. And I feel like I've done a very good job with both of those. But definitely an area where I've sort of fell short is looking after myself personally. I will easily give up personal time to spend time with my family, and I'll easily give up personal time to do extra work. And when I mean personal time, time to go for a walk, time to get some exercise in. You know, I got a haircut since the last time we spoke. That's an absolute miracle that I did that. I am terrible at it, but it's just little things like that, being able to go get a haircut so I look, respectable. I am going to make sure this year that I'm going to take more personal self time for myself. And the way I've sort of set myself up, especially from a health standpoint, is I got myself a new watch, Apple Watch, that's very judgmental. It tells me when I need to stand up, how much exercise I need to do, and focus on burning some active calories every single day to put myself in a better health situation. My health has never been terrible, but that doesn't mean that it won't just turn like that. Again, last year in my 30s, the body starts slowing down, really starting to struggle. So in 2024, my three big goals are making Protea a thriving business that's not totally reliant on me, improving my written communication with my team members, and finding more time for myself so that I can be around people for a longer period of time. Additionally, I'm working on a couple things. Obviously, this podcast, 52 weeks that I've committed to. We'll see how that goes. We are working on another podcast that's leadership focused. I'm really excited. I'll be recording. I have 3 or 4 episodes already booked for this month, and I'm just going to focus in on trying to get 10 of those recorded and then release and tell you all about it. And then I'm working on 2 separate training courses. Both of them I've done before. One is on inventory costing, specifically around the wine industry. If you go to Protea Academy, you can see the training process I did with the Virginia Wine Growers Association, but I'm going to expand that record it and release it as a series that's a little bit more digestible for people. Probably somewhere in the 3 to 6 episode type range. And I think it'll be really helpful for a lot of people in the alcohol beverage space. And the other one is going to be on communication. I'm doubling down on the communication. I'm going to put together some training. Probably, maybe an hour worth of training, 45 minutes broken into like 15-minute episodes. Big focus on written, verbal, and then just body language in general. Um, so those are the things that I'm working on at the moment. Just a lot of great things. But 2024, I am setting the mindset. It's going to be a great year. I'm going to put in the hard work to make sure that it's successful. We're going to celebrate 10 years of Protea, which is just amazing. I'm so thankful for the opportunities I've received, the people I work with, and my team that just continue to be absolute rock stars. I'm very thankful for the 10 years that I've had at Protea. I hope that you can make 2024 successful for yourself. Go into that mindset, set some great goals, and let's all try to be successful together. And hopefully, this podcast can be part of your process. Maybe I can help you along and make sure you reach those goals. I look forward to talking to you all again.